reporting back in plenary. Each group reports back in plenary their interaction and answers to the 3 questions. The answers to the 3 questions really are our way forward. It's how we're looking at what we want to do vis-a-vis that case. And then we'll end with any other questions in plenary for all the 3 case presenters. Is that structure okay? So we have 1.5 hours to go through the 3 case presentations, discuss them in smaller groups, come back with recommendations as to what can be done with those 3 case presentations. I would now like to invite the panelists and the chair, Dr. Paolo Mafalopoulos, the Chief Communication for Development, UNICEF, as the session chair and the moderator. The first case presentation on mobiles for education, Mr. Ansari. May I ask you to come here, please? Mr. Ansari is leading a civil service organization called Young India. It's based out of Konarak. Under his leadership, the first community radio station of Orissa, Radio Damaskar, also began broadcasting, and it has now completed 3 years of broadcast. So Mr. Ansari is going to take us through the case on mobiles for education, and the project is called Let's Go to School. The second case presentation today is Mr. Chetan Sharma. Is he in? I understand he was in the corridor outside. So he'll just join us. Mr. Chetan Sharma is the founder of Datamation Foundation Trust. He has consistently advocated and designed innovative non-formal education models targeted towards neo-literate and semi-literate poor communities, especially young girls and women. And he has worked actively in the recent years in embedding mobile-based solutions that affect most vulnerable communities. So we will be going through the case of using mobiles for education. The project is called MHSM SMS Toolkit, and Mr. Chetan Sharma will be presenting that. The third experience that we want to share today is going to be made by 2 presenters, Mr. Kamal Jeet and Dr. Surabhi Mittal. Mr. Kamal Jeet, may I request you, and Dr. Surabhi Mittal. Kamal Jeet is heading Kisan Sanchar and working as a principal advisor at HAFED HQ. Under his guidance, Kisan Sanchar is now in 16 states and reaches across to 3.5 lakh farmers or beneficiaries. And Dr. Surabhi Mittal is a senior agricultural economist. Thank you so much for your questions this morning. They were really interesting and led us to think a bit deeper about some of the things. And she's been with the organization since August 2010, and she works in the role of an ICT, on the role of ICT in overcoming asymmetric information delivery to farmers. So these are the 3, the project is called Kisan Sanchar. That's exactly what the project is called, and we will have the 3 case presenters, 10 minutes each, followed by group work. So all your questions, if you can note them down, when we sit in parallel group discussions, the presenters will be with you to answer some of those clarifications. Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Sharma, would you please come? And over to you, Paolo.
Okay, thank you. So we can start, and you have 15 minutes. So I will give you a 2 minutes reminder. So when I go like this, it's not for victory, you have 2 minutes. The first, I think, Mr. Shah Ansari, please.
This is integration of 2 technologies, mobile technology and community radio. And our focus was to return back the dropout students from the school. So let me start with, in fact, Yeah, this project is Chala School Ku Jiba. It's in Odia, and translation part is Let Us Go to School. In fact, Radio Namaskar is the first community radio of Odisha, and we are focusing in different thematic thrust areas, and education is part of it. And basically we cover 4 blocks. They are Gop, Kakatpur, Astarang and Nimapada, all are coastal blocks in Puri district of Odisha. And this project is Chala School Ku Jiba. It aims to return back all the dropout students who they are staying in their families or they are working elsewhere to back to the school. And we have one dedicated mobile number, that's 9040904904, and basically we use it with green software. And before that I can say what is the issues behind it, why we started this project. That there is high rate of school dropouts, more than 40% in that locality, and there is lack of communication, lack of awareness among villagers, increased monopoly of school teachers and administration there. And there is so many opportunities with us that Radio Namaskar has 15 to 20 kilometers radius coverage, 84 listeners groups in different gram panchayats, active listeners mass promoted in each village, school in each village, and more than 90% family own mobile phone there. Okay, video is not working. Still, what was the process? Now we started broadcasting of a special radio program package of 30 minutes twice a week. Listeners inform us regarding the dropout students from their mobile phones to our dedicated mobile number through call and SMS. When they were calling to our mobile number, then they were getting an automated voice that if any child of your locality, of your village is out of school, please inform us, so that togetherly we'll send back that child or student to the school. And it was automated, it was recorded in our system, PC, and who they are sending SMS, it was noted in our office, and twice in a week we are broadcasting the voices and all the informations which was collected through SMS. Again, as per our database, as we are working intensively in that locality, we have database of PRI members, the officials, teachers, administrators, and the community leaders. So we send SMS to the mobile numbers of the village and PRI members, women self-help groups, sarpanch, ward members, teachers, community leaders, radio volunteers, etc., as available with us. And also we broadcast the recorded and SMS information through the radio episodes twice a week. We make live teleconferencing with with informal listeners, local school teachers or headmasters, school authorities, local PRI representatives, school management committee members, leaders, etc. Again, using a mobile interface. When the students return to school,
I think it's better if you talk this way. You did here, because when you turn around, the voice gets lost.
oh, we send SMS to the mobile numbers of villagers and PRI members, women self-help group members, sarpanch, ward members, teachers, community leaders, radio volunteers, etc. as available with us. And we also broadcast the recorded and SMS information through these radio episodes. We make live teleconferencing with informer listeners, local school teachers, headmaster, school authority, local PRI representatives, school management committees, members, leaders, etc. Again, using a mobile interface also. When the students return to the school, we again send thanks SMS to all of our database mobile numbers, so that others know the fact and realize the impact of phone call, SMS, which gave life, or education is life, as we believe, to a child. Also, we broadcast it in next radio episodes. So automatically the community members were encouraged that they should do something, and automated process started in that locality, that people were sourcing where is any student out of school. They were informing us, and again they were trying to send back those children to the school, and they were informing us that this is a case study, so broadcast or inform others that they can also send back their students who they are out of school in their locality. In this process, in fact, we cover 4 blocks in the Puri district, that's Gop, Nimapada, Kakatpur and Astarang. But intensively, we were working on 15 schools as a pilot basis. But in impact of such project, we got 165 schools in only Gop block, which the Sarva Shiksha Abhijan government body of education department declared zero dropout. Yet we haven't got information from another 3 blocks. Hopefully, more than 300 schools we got impacted with this process. So it's not just use of a technology, but using the technology for one of the noblest cause, education for all, which is one of the primary minimum development goal. This initiative is unique because through integrated use of and operation of community radio and mobile, we haven't only reached a larger population, but mobilized them to contribute to the cause of education for our children. This project has given life to thousands of children and benefited a society by ensuring a better future with most children being educated. Radio volunteers, community members, community leaders, peer representatives, teachers, headmasters, government officials, school management committee leader and members, Radio Namaskar, all together from all sections of community used mobile for this purpose. In this process, as I told, 165 schools of this locality have been declared zero dropout school by local government. Not only impact from other 3 blocks not collected, as we are intensively working 1 block. Not only the dropout students, but also this campaign has impacted a lot for new admission of the children of this locality. What is the challenges before us, and what is now task at our hand? Challenges is lack of trained and well-equipped team members, because the community radio, Radio Namaskar, is placed in the interior area. And a coastal area, it's more than 80 kilometers far from state headquarters. So no professionals are interested to work there or stay in a remote villages. Facing difficulties to send huge number of SMS to the listeners. There is also finance cost problem there, and also technological problem there. Lack of support or acceptance from government and administration for this cause, because yet government is no pro-techno. And what stacks at our hand, we assess our source type impact in other coverage blocks to cover all the schools of our coverage area, because now we are focused in 1 block intensively, so other 3 blocks to be covered, to ensure 100% student admission and attendance in our coverage area, to ensure participation of government, corporate and civil society, like-minded civil society in this campaign, because we want to make this campaign more or bigger one. And we also want to make this process, this campaign, sustainable one. We'll explore our experience and expertise with other community radio. We'll take more innovative action for promotion of this campaign. We'll integrate a new option in our web portal of Radio Namaskar to accept SMS as text in homepage in the box format. We'll explore further community mobile technology which will support the process. We'll broadcast the episodes through our community radio and also All India Radio, because some of the areas in our district is also not covered by us, but it's covered by local All India Radio FM, and also promote innovative content for community and mobile. We are also, Radio Namaskar also in the part of ICT, we have a website. We are also active in Facebook, Twitter, Orkut, and ida.in, the partnership web portal, content sharing portal of One World South Asia and Ministry of Information Broadcasting. Our work is our message. Thank you. Let us work together. All of your cooperation and helping hand is mostly awaited. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ansari, and thank you for being within the allotted time. Now I'm going to ask Mr. Sharma, please. needs to go to connect his laptop. Is it
Yeah,
possible?
just give me your.
Or, sorry, one thing. Are you just do you have a presentation? So why don't, in the sake of time, I would say let them go first, so we change only once, so we can still go with this. No problem. Yeah. So we're going now with Kamaljit.
Yes.
Kamaljit, and thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. I, along with my colleague, Dr. Surbhi Mittal, I welcome all of you for this workshop. The project name is Kisan Sanchar. The practice bring agri-extension information services for better agriculture practices and resource conservation, along with supported by CIMIT and CFAS project. This is the modern ICT trend indicators in India. You see, there are 4 different color lines. The internet tele density is very close to the bottom, and fixed line tele density is just above it, and mobile tele density is above all, and the second is rural total tele density. It shows this mobile tele density and as well as the rural total tele density. It is a big opportunity that ICT opens. Extension services incorporating modern ICT tools is crucial to meet the challenges. Traditional mode of communication do not deliver specific agroclimatic and economic realities to users at local level, often not received on time. Whereas modern ICT tools can help bridge this gap of relevant and localized information delivery to small farmers on time. This is the framework of Climate Services Plus. Not only climate services, it is Climate Services Plus. Important to convert climate information into actionable information for the farmers. Customize location and crop specific actionable information. Infrastructure in investment and policy. Linking the climate information with available technologies and best farming practices. How are we doing this, and why should we do this? There is a weather information, better decision making in use of inputs and storage of output, reduces cost and prevent loss in the crop. This is very important factor. And agronomic information, better farm practices, better yields, reduces cost of production, efficient resource management. And third is input price information, better quality of input, better yields, time saving, cost saving, as well as reduces cost of the production. Output market information, better price realization, better income, and reduces search cost as well as the transaction cost. About Kisan Sanchar. Kisan Sanchar's mission is to serve as self-sustainable vital linkage among farmers and research institutions as well as the markets using online and offline tools. It was started in year 2008 as a small activity, and 2009 it was supported by Srishti Gyan Kendra, a local NGO, as well as a Krishi Vigyan Kendra, and covered 3 districts and 4,500 farmers. 2010, a website called kisansanchar.com was launched, and this concept spread into 75 districts with 35,000 farmers. In 2011, this was recognized by DEF and Vodafone Foundation and received a grant of 1 million for further scaling up. 2012, Kisan Sanchar was incorporated as a non-profit company, and in 2013, this has extended up to 3.5 lakh subscribers in 16 states. These are the partners of Kisan Sanchar: Krishi Vigyan Kendras, state agriculture universities, cooperative societies, cooperative marketing federations, agriculture research stations, NGOs, and international research institutions. And this graph shows the year-wise beneficiaries of Kisan Sanchar. The products. We have 4 different products: text and voice messaging, mobile application, community radio, and print and social media. Services: agriculture extension services, helpline for farmers, career counseling for the farmers, contract and organic farming projects, and product promotion. And this graph shows the sustainability of the Kisan Sanchar. For first 2 years, we were into loss, but after 2010, this project is self-sustainable and earning at its own. Role of Kisan Sanchar in promoting environmental sustainability. We have focused in these 4 areas. First is agriculture inputs. The messages were broadcasted on balanced use of fertilizer, soil testing, biofertilizer, and seed varieties. Agricultural practices were promoted diversification, green manuring, and direct seeding of the paddy. Use of innovative implements like laser leveler and zero tillage. Promotion of green grassroots innovations. We have promoted some products which were awarded by National Innovation Foundation, which were very innovative, but they were not able to capture the market because they were not able to promote their product in the conventional method. So we opened our network for those innovative products, and we linked the innovator with the farmers. These are the few technologies I am going to explain, like the promotion of laser leveler. In India, the land of farmers are not leveled. When your lands are not level, you cannot irrigate your lands with some amount of water. Suppose you open a water channel into your field and your land is undulated, that water will go towards the lower level of the land, and all the fertilizers and the inputs that will automatically shift to lower part of the land. This technique was promoted by CIMMYT, and all the government institutions and cooperative societies, they were equipped with this laser leveling equipment, but farmers were not able to use that implements because it were available on the share basis, because farmer cannot purchase equipment for its field. So we opened an opportunity for those institutions who are having those implements to share their information for the farmers, so that farmers can book in the advance. So last year, 41 messages on laser leveling were broadcasted in 8 districts. And the benefits of the leveling are, it saves 20 to 30% of water, improves crop establishment and improves yield, more uniform moisture environment for the crops, reduces weed problem, improves uniformity of crop maturity, decreases the time to complete task, reduces the amount of water required by land preparation, and improved trafficability for the subsequent operations. Thank you. Diversification and the promotion of summer moong. You will be very surprised to know that 1 quintal of rice production requires 5 lakh liters of water. It means the amount of rice production, amount of water we are spending in the paddy belt is very high, and the amount of price our farmers are getting. As well as this paddy cultivation is giving a huge pressure on our environmental balance and the ecological balance. There was a need to promote diversification of the crops, and the government has plans and systems are in place. So we opened our network for the KVKs and the agriculture department to broadcast the information about where the free seed of moong is available. And farmers are adopting it, and the benefits of the summer moong now which they are getting, that it has served the purpose of the green manuring. And due to the green manuring, the less use of chemical fertilizers and additional income with the diversification, improvement in the soil structure, and prevention of Saathi rice cultivation. Because this is a period between Kharif and Rabi, there is a 60 days period. Many farmers in Punjab and Haryana, they used to take one rice crop, which was of 60 days. And it used to put a huge pressure on the land and the environment. Now, farmers, as they are more aware about it, and the government has put a ban over it, so the farmers are going for this green manuring and other alternative system. This is a very good case study, promotion of seed treatment in paddy. In 2007-8, when we were doing a project in paddy belt, there was a great outcome of Bakane disease in the paddy. A huge market of chemical was there, which was sold in the name of that it prevents Bakane. But the research showed that no chemical treatment, no chemical spray can prevent Bakane. There is the only solution to make seed treatment before sowing of the seed. So last in continuous 3-4 years, now every farmer, every block of the Karnal, Kaithal, and Kurukshetra, 3 districts, they know about the seed treatment. The increase in the material which is used for seed treatment, its increase in sale shows that farmers are doing more and more seed treatment. This is one more innovation that I have. Use of light trap for the insecticides. This is a small device. Many farmers know about it, but it is not available easily in the market. We have promoted this device among the farmers because at the peak time when there is a lot of insects in the field and all the herbivorous insects who eat your crop, they are more active during night. Farmers use this device in their field and see it's a bag full of insects. It is a collection of one night. So the manufacturers who are manufacturing this trap, they are giving advertisement using the Kisan Sanchar network to educate farmer about this, that this device is available at a single place. We have the connectivity with the farmers, and this manufacturer of this light trap, he had the product, but he was not able to give information to the farmers that this product is available with me. So the role of Kisan Sanchar comes in between. This is the stop burning of crop residues. It is a big hazard in Punjab and Haryana. Like now just we have cut the wheat crop and most of the farmers, they will burn their fields. They will burn everything which is available in the field and all this biomass is burnt and which is a great loss to the ecology. Kisan Sanchar has taken various steps by spreading education among the farmers to make them aware to not to burn their crop residues and what are the alternative methods that farmers can take benefit of their crop residues. Kisan Sanchar is sending information to create the awareness. The overall impact. Diversification and use of better farm management practices has helped farmers to improve their production and productivity, leading to improved income levels and enabled them to reduce risk during the climate variability. This helped in resource conservation and reduce of chemical fertilizers, improved soil quality and efficient use of water and other inputs. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you also for keeping the time as well. And now with the last presenter, Mr. Sharma, please.
Good afternoon to all of you, and my apologies, I was slightly delayed in the traffic. Thank you, UNICEF, thank you, DEF, Osama Bhai in particular for inviting me, for making this presentation. Now, as this gets loaded, SMS DEF consultation.
This one. Make it a slideshow. I just can't see it. I'm so sorry.
I think some slides have got missed out.
I'm sorry.
What are missed
This is
out?
not first slide, I guess.
No. Anyway, I think I can manage with this. Yeah. Apologies for this. I'm Chetan Sharma from Data Mission Foundation. So some of the introductory slides have been missing here, but I would like to just explain you, and the presentation would be available on with Chitra, with DEF. Data Mission Foundation is a community organization working in the health and education for past more than 10 years. And the fact that we've been working in health, working on maternal child health issues for last several years, working in the rural areas gave us the confidence to use mobile technology in order to reach out to the pregnant as well as the new mothers. Now, based on experience, we have been working on a variety of digital media for spreading health awareness and health messages. And the impact of some of these messages has been mixed because of issues relating to particularly access, relating to reach, and the fact that women in particular have huge barriers in order to access centralized locations because of timing, because of cultural barriers, because of so many other barriers. So we were looking ourselves for certain cost-effective solutions that we could deploy for cost-effective as well as something that can work in context of rural India in particular. But I'd like to just take you through some of the earlier modules. For example, this is a multimedia module that was deployed for breast cancer, early detection, early cure. And this module are all in Hindi, interactive modules, and women can access it on PCs. In fact, these have been deployed in our central UP, where again the mobile technology has been deployed, as well as in Seelampur, Zafrabad, which is a UNESCO initiative for last more than 10 years. So we found that women in particular have been extremely responsive to multimedia technology. They've been able to interact, they've been able to ask questions, they've been able to express their views in front of the computer far more actively than they would. And in any case, when there's a facilitator that works along with the computers, she's able to respond and answer these questions. Shishu Sambandhi Jankariyan, early childhood care, as you can see from the buttons, what is the safe motherhood, breastfeeding, the height and weight measurement of the child, because the areas that we work in particular have shown very poor indicators pertaining to infant mortality as well as morbidity. So we have been extremely careful with respect to deploying appropriate content. In fact, there's an immunization module which we developed early enough in partnership with UNICEF. The immunization module also has been deployed in some of our project site. So this is the historical context. How we our work in the health sector enabled us to use mobile technology, and this is the backdrop of the project that we all know. I'm sorry, this version of we all know that maternal child health issue is a challenge in our country, particularly in some of the areas where the Data Mission Foundation has been working.
These two?
No, I want this PPT first.
Sure.
Put it on the slideshow, that's what the...
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Request you to be here because those PDF files also would have to be accessed. Friends, we are talking of area which is almost equivalent to continental Europe without any exaggeration. Central Uttar Pradesh, 15 districts, I think would be Netherlands, Luxembourg, and several other countries put together. And on top of it, poor health infrastructure. We are talking about the public health infrastructure, the government-funded health infrastructure, and near absence of a private health infrastructure, particularly in the rural areas. So all this has resulted in lack of institutional deliveries. When we started working, we noticed that more than 55 to 60% deliveries were being done at home by DAIs, which are the health workers, as well as many of those deliveries were resulting in very, very unsafe conditions. No wonder in central Uttar Pradesh had one of the highest incidence of mortality. Now, looking at this and with all these indicators in mind itself, the National Rural Health Mission was conceptualized, and we all know that the fact that the women need to be encouraged to undergo institutional delivery in any kind of health facility, that was a vital component of Janani Suraksha Yojana, which has been there for now more than 4 years and bringing about some very active results. And one of the active components of Janani Suraksha Yojana is the ASHA worker. So the ASHA is called ASHA Behan in some states, some places it is called, there are different things, but the term what it indicates is a health social worker who is a community mobilizer, working with the community, working door to door, working with the pregnant women and ensuring the institutional delivery, and also working as a link worker between the health and the public facility and the household for ensuring safe motherhood as well as the early child care once the woman has delivered. We somehow felt that looking at the geographic inaccessibility and the fact that early studies on some of the impact evaluation that we had done on the usage of the radio and the print media were showing a near absence of any awareness, any of this, we felt mobile technology could play a very effective role. So this is how we started working. But we were not under any illusion, because I'm myself a technologist, but today I take pride in the work that we have done in health sector. We were very aware that we needed to superimpose the technology with extensive community mobilization and our own health workers working alongside the ASHA and the government health infrastructure in order to spread the messages. So the community mobilization, the pictures of which you are seeing from the Katri block of Ghatampur Tehsil, Kanpur Dehat district, which subsequently was scaled up as a result of Vodafone Foundation DEF support, to Kakori block, Lucknow district. So the pamphlets, the brochures, and the health workers are distributing these. The health worker, you can see, is explaining to the women the health messages and how the health messages was delivered. There is a huge data ecosystem here. In my modest opinion, no development project, particularly that of technology, can work without a very effective data backbone. So each and every woman was profiled. That data is also available to you for your audit and for your scrutiny with DEF, because we are not here to make exaggerated claims about our work and nor give any misleading results. It is all auditable in public domain. So the women were all profiled. And after the profiling, now you are seeing here a newly married woman. Now, newly married women, cultural barriers, social barriers, a lot of questions, a lot of these, I don't know how to ask, whom to ask, mother-in-law is the intimidating. So the health workers answering those questions. And what are those messages? Chitra, I'm going to need your help again in bringing up those PDF. Now again, the English ends where probably the boundary of this hotel would end, or somewhere there in Heartland, no one understands English. So for the pregnant women, there were messages that from day 1 and the week 5th, अगर आप अभी तक नहीं किया है तो नज़दीक के स्वास्थ्य केंद्र में जाकर खून और पेशाब की जांच जरूर कराएं. अगर आपने अभी एंटी टेटनस सुई नहीं लगवाई है तो जल्द लगवाएं. So this, you profile the woman, and on the day 1st of the 5th week of pregnancy, this message is delivered on the handset. So this working with the health workers, ensuring that you had a customized message, and it needed to be extremely accurate, friends, because we are dealing with lives here. So therefore, a second level check, third level check, the fact that the technology which got strengthened as a result, delivery, we have a robust platform, because it was found that every second home, if not a woman had an access to a mobile phone, she had a phone with the mobile, with her father-in-law or with husband or with a neighbor. And we knew that the message would stay there. So she would read it at her convenience, or our health worker would go and make her read the message. But this was the crux. गाजर, खीरा और पत्ता गोभी जैसी सब्जियों को कच्चा खाएं, इसमें विटामिन और मिनरल अधिक मात्रा में होता है. This is a regular message. So you're giving a message on the nutrition for all those who may not have understood Hindi. So the messages on nutrition, message on, so there's this huge repository of messages which has to be given. For example, in the 13th वीक ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी, अगर आपने 3 महीने तक लगातार गोलियां खाई हैं और फोलिक एसिड की गोली लेना बंद कर दिया है, तो आयरन और कैल्शियम की गोलियां लेना शुरू करें, या आपके नज़दीक के स्वास्थ्य केंद्र में मिलकर जाएं. वी वर अंडर नो इल्यूजन दैट मोबाइल टेक्नोलॉजी विल कम एंड क्रिएट अ मैजिक एंड माई barely sending SMS alerts. So there was whole partnership program with the ASHA worker, with the primary health center, where the full integration and the health workers continue being on the ground. So this is as far as the pregnant women is concerned. So the impact is something which I'll share later. An independent impact evaluation and assessments have been carried out by various academia and institutions. The government is a key component, is a key partner. But with respect to the post-delivery, the messages, which again is a very important point. For example, we are seeing that even the initiation of the breastfeeding, when does it get done? I mean, the baby needs to be fed. And women are not necessarily aware, so you'll see the indicators there. The registration of the child, the birth itself, the weight, when the weight has to be taken. अगर आप कभी हल्का बुखार महसूस कर सकती हैं, परंतु अगर बुखार तेज़ है या लगातार है तो डॉक्टर की सलाह ज़रूर लें. इस समय वजन ना उठाएं. Day 5th in the first week after the delivery. सेकेंड डे, जब तक शिशु सिर्फ माँ का दूध ले रहा है तब तक उसमें पानी मिलाने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है. नो नीड टू मिक्स वाटर इफ यू आर गिविंग ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग टू द बेबी. सो ऑल दोज काइंड ऑफ कस्टमाइज्ड मैसेजेस, वेरी वेरी स्पेशलाइज्ड मैसेजेस. अगर आपके जनन अंगों का श्राव हो, इफ यू आर हैविंग अ डिस्चार्ज फ्रॉम योर रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स विच इज ऑफ रेड और येलो दिस थिंग, so then you have to be very careful about your cleanliness and hygiene. So it is as customized as this. So I think I will skip these messages, but these are again available on these. What we are seeing as a result of this, and we are truly seeing that impact as a result of this. I've already explained you that what is, it's a very simple minimalistic approach, working in partnership with the government, working with the mobile technology, working with a CMS content management system, working with a CMS that is very, very customized. The technology is on .NET framework using C#, XML and SQL Server. We are upgrading this as the handsets and the others change. By the way, what kind of handset and mobile set is available with every woman, that is also recorded. And the impact data is also recorded. So therefore, when the institutional delivery, where the institutional delivery took place, the fact that there has been an increase in tremendously in the institutional delivery, the technology also has helped arrange for the transportation, because as I said, that the areas are villages are very, very geographically dispersed. So there's a transportation that needs to be arranged for the women. So the ASHA worker is helped and assisted by Data Mission Foundation health worker and using the mobile alert, the transportation facility, so that the pregnant woman is taken to the health facility for her delivery. Chairman, sir, okay. I've already explained you this. Reminders about specific tests and all that. Number of women benefited. So we have 2 control group, the pregnant women and the after child registrations. This is the data. The women, people who are benefiting are also community health workers, families of the targeted women, the in-laws, the husband. There are messaging for each one of them. They have to be told about their duties and responsibility vis-a-vis a pregnant woman as well as vis-a-vis a new mother. That is being communicated. Indicators, tremendous improvement in the vaccination coverage. The full immunization schedule is again delivered. अब आपके बच्चे का BCG का टीकाकरण का समय आ गया है, उसको नज़दीक के स्वास्थ्य केंद्र में लेकर BCG का टीकाकरण कराएं, या DPT, मिसाइल्स, हेपेटाइटिस, जापानीज encephalitis. Breastfeeding. This is what we are seeing, that when we compare with the earlier data, and this is not an anecdotal evidence, it's a well-recorded evidence, 45% of the covered women are initiating breastfeeding within half an hour of the delivery because of the consistent messaging after 4 hours, after 3 days. Taking weights of the newborn babies with the ASHA workers and the other. Same day, within 24 hours, 55% of the covered women who have delivered are taking the weight of the babies. Within 3 days, 35%. Later than 7 days, so there's a very small group which is not able to do that. And I have much more impact data that has been shared. Sufficient for now to say is that we believe that we are on the right approach, and we would like to scale up the program in areas in particular which continue to have poor MCH indicators. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I think now we are dividing into 3 subgroups, and Alka will tell us how and where.
We're going to go into 3 subgroups, and the case presenters will be with you during, because there are many questions that you have vis-a-vis, I have many, vis-a-vis each of the cases that have been presented. But there are 3 questions that we have handed over to you in your sheets like this. 3 questions that we would like the group to consider and deliberate on. One is that if you're looking at the last presentation on the use of mobile phones for information to pregnant women, then what is the potential of the scalability of that particular intervention? Are there any aspects of it which are scalable, or is the entire thing scalable? Maybe it's too intensive, maybe there are some aspects of it. That's what we would like the group to discuss. We also want you to discuss what needs to be done for scalability. Do we need any improvisations? Is this too intense, or do we need something which can be simpler? Remember the morning discussion about keeping it simple. Small steps. So is there something that can be done with the intervention to make it, to improvise it, to make it simpler or more complicated, as be the case? And the third question is, what are the ways or the means, or what is necessary from a management point of view, from funding, resources, and so on and so forth, to scale it up, if at all we feel that it's worth scaling up, or if there are elements of it worth scaling up. These 3 questions in the next 30 minutes with the case presenter is the terms of reference for the group. So we'll do this in parallel. The case presenter and the group will sit together. So I think it's much simpler if we just did 1, 2, 3 and then moved into the groups. And we would like you to come back and report in plenary on at least 2 answers to each of these questions. So 2 key things that we want to question number 1, question number 2, and question number 3 for each of the cases. Okay? All right. So I'll go 1. We've just lost 2 somewhere. 3. 1, 2. You want to be in 3. Okay. 2, 3. One. Two. 1, 2. This side. Okay. 1. So we know the groups that we are in. So if 1 can come here, 2 onto this table, and 3 onto this table. Is that okay? And we have half an hour. Really, I'm sorry to do that. Okay, so 1 is on this table, 2 is on this table, and 3.
Is what needs to be discussed, and if there is any alternative also, or complementing projects also around, that you can also mention. But about this project, you have to be very critical and make all the suggestions based on those 3 questions. That's basically it.
तो इसमें स्केलेबिलिटी का बहुत ज़्यादा स्कोप है. जो रूरल पॉपुलेशन है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है और उनको इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी से जुड़ना है. प्लस जो हमारे इंफॉर्मेशन जहाँ से जनरेट हो रही है वो जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है वो भी बहुत सारे हैं. तो इसमें फॉरवर्ड एंड बैकवर्ड दोनों तरफ आगे बढ़ने का बहुत ज़्यादा स्कोप है. पहला तो बात तो यहाँ तक क्वेश्चन है. दूसरा व्हाट नीड्स टू बी डन फॉर स्केलेबिलिटी एंड इम्प्रोवाइजेशन. इसमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. सबसे पहला जो चीज़ है वो है टेक्नोलॉजी. जो टेक्नोलॉजी ग्रास रूट के लोग इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं उस मतलब उन जो डिवाइसेस वो लोग यूज़ कर रहे हैं जो इन्फॉर्मेशन वो उनको चाहिए. मतलब पहले तो टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे को जो इसमें ग्रोथ है मतलब जो टेक्नोलॉजी की ग्रोथ है. फॉर एग्जांपल जो गांव के लोग हैं वो
We are also covering, yeah.
How will we see and how will we do land? No, from the forest also.
So some parts also sanctuary area,
Sure.
but in fact that
Is there any
surface
contact?
is not lost because we are covering more than 4,000 country boat dwellers in Sierra.
4,000?
Country boat dwellers, boat dwellers.
So sea is not lost. That's what you're saying because there
Because they
are
have
fishermen
no
and
communication means
fishery folk
rather
and
than
they
radio.
only use radio there
Courthouse.
when they're on sea. That's interesting.
So you've understood the scope of the group work.
Yeah, we're just getting a sense of the project.
Please, why don't you give that?
Understand the project of the somebody is already taking notes as to who's going to be presenting.
I am taking notes. I didn't take notes to be the presenter, but okay.
I'm a PPT jockey, so I'm downloading.
We're speaking on the same species here. PPT jockeying is my favorite sport.
Now, is there any contiguous district?
Yeah, we are covering part of Cuttack district, part of Jamshedpur district.
What is the total population you are carrying? So, that's the question. So, rough coverage should be
In
how
50 watt
households?
transmitter touching a 100 watt ERP, you can say it should go up to 10 kW. But depends upon the geographical area of the station and the weather also. So as we are based at a typical coastal area, plain area, we generally cover 15 to 20 kW. But initially we started on our own resources. Then the project won an award from Vodafone Foundation. They only have facilitated it. They gave us about 12 lakh rupees.
But why did you need to make I'm sorry, I'm asking my questions first, but why did you make an additional worker when there was an Anganwadi worker already there? Wouldn't she be trained in probably going to the mother?
I think I would not like to comment on that, but he's here with us from the women's side. They are heavily overloaded. And in fact, the Anganwadi, she is not responsible for the delivery or the early maternal child health.
No, I meant the Anganwadi because she is, but maybe in your case.
But I think there must be so many initiatives that one Anganwadi worker with so many initiatives perhaps is a bottleneck.
And the Asha or the Anganwadi worker ends up collecting like hundreds of categories of data
The
for her
Anganwadi
own
worker
work.
is responsible
She
for
can't-
small children. She is supposed to look after them, arranging for their nutrition. In addition, whatever is cooked in the Anganwadi center, she has to ensure that all the women are being
That's why you took Asha. That's why you took
No, they didn't take Asha.
They didn't take Asha.
They had their own
natural. They have the natural. Asha has been given the responsibility. But as I said, the areas are very, very large, and Asha.
The questions we've been asked here is slightly an atypical case because we're actually scaling up. So asking us how to scale it up
is a slightly difficult thing to answer in this case because they've already done it. They've started off as a small process. They've actually expanded to, I think, maybe over 100 districts. 160 districts, you said? How much? 160? 140? 140 districts. So I think that in itself proves the fact that they are eminently scalable. So in that sense, what is the potential of scalability? The potential is great. Technology and process are both scalable. And the fact that they're using multiple channels and are not dependent just on the technological medium of SMS or mobile is helping a lot in that process, which I think has lessons for us in terms of creating a diverse enough process to leverage multiple channels at one go. What it does need is probably, as it moves forward and the larger database, and the database expands beyond a certain point in terms of the number of people they are servicing, number of individuals they're interacting with, and the number of clients giving messages increases. What they will need to do is probably create substations, essentially on the basis of perhaps agroclimatic zones, in order to be able to handle more comfortable amounts of data within each station and to keep the messaging relevant. And one key area which will need support is probably additional partnerships with more agencies and a diverse set of agencies in order to be able to carry this process forward. So those are the two things that will need to be done in order to convey the scalability to a much higher level than they've achieved till date. Thanks.
Devoting themselves to this kind of an activity. So it's not a small number. Had it been Government of India project, then you would have said only 3.5 lakh farmers. Okay.
I think the point that we're trying to make
when we're talking about climate services, cross-linkages. Like my institution is a research institution, but we generate technology, we generate knowledge. And they are looking towards knowledge also that needs to go to the farmers. In the present scenario, when climate is changing and new information might not be there with the government institutes, which are still dependent on 20 years back written information and poor situations of research that we have. So those kinds of linkages are coming in now as they have moved from one step to another with being recognized and more institutions and partners coming in to help them out to scale it up. Been banned by the government, so everybody who was doing bulk SMS messaging are out of business. Even the topmost companies, Routers Marketlight, if you have heard, they were the best operating in this arena, and they're out of business because bulk SMS has gone out, and the cost of delivering SMS, bulk SMS is 5 to 7 times higher than earlier. So they had worked it out earlier, they have failed, they have learned from their lessons, and they're using different channels. They're still doing bulk SMS. We are talking about farmers. And we're talking about information to the farmer. Suppose it's a paddy farmer. You understand the context. You know, a wheat farmer comes and says, I've got some yellow rust on my leaf. Will Vodafone or Airtel have that information to deliver? It's not song that Bollywood launches. The context that has to be delivered is so specific. It's as health for health. But for health, I would still say all pregnant women across India would need to breastfeed. But farmer situation vary from within the same village, from 10 farmers to the other farmer.
No, I get it. See, two things. One is, fine, of the total population, X percentage is farmers. Of the total mobile user, X percentage is farmers. One way is you're thinking, you will go ground up. Farmer will come to know about your service, then will come to you, talk to you specific issues. The other aspect is, you look at, the way, I come from the marketing world, where brands are marketing to people, there is always a wastage, okay? So your target audience is somebody, okay? You are using the available communication platform to you. You can reach out to some percentage of your target audience through that platform. Some percentage is definitely not your target audience, therefore there is a wastage, okay? So I'm saying, have you tried exploring through a mobile operator route to reach out to say 100 people, of that maybe 10 are farmers. Of the 10 farmers, maybe 5 are the ones who are relevant for you or going to talk to you. The other one is, you can work on ground level, I'll mobilize NGOs, I'll mobilize, people and who are going to going and interacting with farmers, then it will be slow burn. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
See, our target is only farmers, so why should we first of all, go through the mobile route? Then
what is the other route that you have?
The Kisan Sanchar is going through KVKs, and KVKs is Government of India route to connect to 100% of the farmers. So we are anyway catering to the group of 100%, trying to link to that nodal agency that's supposed to link to 100% of farmers.
Honestly, I don't sound
No, even if you are devil's advocate,
Okay.
in terms of strengthening their business plan, I think what we hear is that what he's trying to say is that find a shorter route to reach larger audience, even if at the cost of wastage. That's what he is suggesting. So in that, but your answer about I can hear is that you want to go year by year, step by step, because your value is not only farmers or the typical farmer information, it is also value added information from organic to best practices, to local relevance, to weather, to soil, to everything. So much so that de-practicing the older systems and getting into the newer practice of organic pesticides and so on and so forth. And this is even in the farming sector is so niche, or the niches of the niche, that they are not only propagating a value-based farming practices or information and knowledge, but also trying to correct the situation if it has been destroying the market or the practice in some way or the other way. And that is very, very difficult if you are talking about a telecom based market reach, even if that market reach is inclusive of all the farmers and wastage is so they are organically
IKSL
trying
has already done that. IKSL with Airtel has already done that, and now they are coming to this route. IFFCO Kisan Sanchar Limited, IFFCO is the biggest fertilizer company, and Airtel was the biggest in 2007, and they started that way. And after 3 and 4 years of banging their head, they have come now starting this way.
So I would also say is that keeping the time in mind, we will also have a wrestling event in the evening where we can have these people get together and to sort out few things. So this one.
Okay, so I'll be presenting for group 1. My name is Arjun. We were talking about the Radio Namaskar project, and interestingly it's very similar to what we've been doing as well, so it was a very homogeneous sort of a discussion. I think going by the questions here, what is the potential of scalability in something like a Radio Namaskar or a CG Net Swara? That's self-evident. We've already been, he's done it in 165 schools already. They started with 15, it grew to 165 without even trying. Well, I'm sure the effort was quite monumental, but when we say without even trying, it's almost that it takes it as an avalanche effect. So clearly the scalability is already there. We've gone from one state in central India to now the entire central Indian zone, from Rajasthan to Orissa for CG Net Swara as well. So these things are already inherently scalable. Mobile is scalable, information dissemination is scalable. These things we already know about. Which aspect of it is scalable is really the key. And I think that what I'll share with Ansari ji on this is that hyper-locality is the key thing that we need to scale. All of the projects that have scaled successfully or have got any kind of impact are being run by people or groups who have very intense knowledge of a hyper-local environment. So for example, Ansari ji works out of the Konark area, so he knows that area inside out, his team knows that area inside out, and therefore with just 15 full-time people, they can cater to 165 schools and get that to a zero dropout rate. Same thing is reflected in CG Net Swara. We have people who've been in that area, NGOs and individuals who've been in the area working on these issues for the last 20 odd years, and by partnering with them, we've been able to accomplish whatever we accomplished. So I think that is the one thing that should be scaled up more. More people need to go into these localized zones where successes are already happening, observe what's going on, document the process, and then come out and replicate it. The other key thing would be offline follow-up. I think this is something that, while we talk about mobile phones, we tend to forget about the offline action that is required. Just by receiving a phone call, you don't start going to school. Somebody has to walk that distance and go into the building. Somebody has to go and tell somebody that you have to go into the school. It's important for this reason. All of that offline follow-up is really what is triggered by the mobile phone. So when somebody gets a call, there's a trigger, and then unless it is taken up by a lot of people in physical action, it's not going to work. So that push needs to happen in a very focused manner. That's the second part. And I think the third key takeaway was community ownership. This has to be owned by the community. People from the community need to be using these things. I as a urban resident cannot go and tell somebody in the village what is appropriate for them, what is inappropriate for them. They really have to come back with what they think is appropriate and peer moderate it, peer manage it, and then come up with their own conclusions. Those are the top three takeaways: hyperlocality, offline follow-up, and community ownership. Questions?
I'm saying community radio had an important feature, was an important feature in that intervention, right? Does it feature in the scalability aspect as well, and if how? I mean, because community radio stations don't exist everywhere, so does that figure out in the scalability? No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking if it did play a role for us. I don't play a role. I'm saying, does that feature in the scalability? Because community radio stations don't exist everywhere, right?
I don't think community radio, the way it stands, can be a scalable sort of a model because the process is very, very slow. It could be if you made the licensing process of community radio a lot easier, then you could use it as a scaling mechanism. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm getting a question at all.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that it was an important feature in that initiative. Sure. Where does it feature in this, when you scale it up, where does it feature?
It's the audio component. Audio is the key. It's radio is audio.
But it's also the broadcast because the families were congratulated, saying, you know, great, you sent your kids back.
See, you need
does it feature anywhere in the...
The key is the feedback loop and the voice, the audio and the feedback loop. Those are the two key things. If you can manage a feedback loop at that scale without radio, sure, you can do it without radio. But I don't think without radio is going to be possible. The reason I'm hesitating to say that it will be the key thing in scaling up is because it's so difficult to set up community radios. Not really, not really.
Jasleen, just to answer that partially, I think we have to unlink two things here. The fact is that in that case, community radio provided the sounding board to expand it. But you'll find across all these examples, I think, that what you really need to look at is what are the available channels in that area to keep it hyperlocal.
Exactly. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much.
Typically what we have found is that if you want to keep it that locally relevant, it doesn't matter if there's a community radio station. If it is, then that's one of the media you use in that area. If not, what is the sounding board? It could even be something as simple as a local chai ki dukan where people exchange notes. But it has to be locally relevant. And identifying that is the key to all these processes.
Right. So for example, in a lot of rural India, download centers play a big role. So instead of a community radio center, you have a somebody was talking about a data card that you can preload with data and send out. Maybe that's the model that works in your area. So community radios, if it's available, great. If it's not, find another model.
So we were discussing the scalability of the mobile registration of pregnancies and then follow-up messages, health messages. So to begin with, I think we had a discussion and we all felt that it was a system, so to speak, that required a parallel system to the existing Ashas and the Anganwadis at the health, at the community level. But recognizing also that because they are very, very overworked with their own data collection and health provision and health promotion, that the government could not reach out to those women, and a mechanism like this, a project like this, can help in when it works with the government, it can act as a good collaboration. It can add the extra element that is required, but it's a great reminder system. Yeah, so it's a great reminder system. Yes, an additional person is required at the community level who can collect the information and then pass it on, and or if the woman is illiterate, to read it out to her and also explain to her. So the entire group felt that this was something that if there's community ownership, that it can be handed over to some other person within the community. So let's say a girl or a boy who's slightly educated can play that function, and he or she could be paid a certain amount or as an honorarium. So that were two things that were debated over the period of our discussion. more research was definitely required on, and more research to attribute to the fact that, you know, whatever impact was shown was because of the messages and not because of anything else. So anything else would have been the Asha coming home or NRHM messages or, you know, TV, radio spots, whatever else is happening. So probably randomized case control studies would help show some evidence. Scale up can be done. It may not be, I mean, the project may not be self-sustainable or, you know, profit-making over a period of time, but we do need projects like this to work in tandem with the government. And if we can access government grants through community untied funds with the panchayat or the village health and sanitation committee, or through the Samajik Suvidha Kendra, help me out. Yeah, citizen service centers. Okay, they are the CSCs. And or through the MP-led funds, if you have a good MP in your district, you could use those funds as well. And or any other government grants for the mother NGOs. So these are various mechanisms through which, you know, the additional person can be funded when we talk of scale up. But we all agree that there is a problem with becoming totally self-sustainable. And there were ideas about, you know, if a family with a pregnant woman can register themselves to a certain server or something going forward, instead of a person having to do that for her. Or an automated IVRS system where she can register herself to. So those were some of the thoughts from our group. Anything else I've missed out?